Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. In this video we will learn about the chemical bonding. For this lesson you have to know what is the atom, then element, atomic number, electron and electron cloud. So electron shells are nothing but these electrons orbit in a different energy levels which are known as electron shells. Remember that every atom has a certain number of electrons which orbit the nucleus in the electron cloud. So these electrons orbit in a different energy levels. You can see in the pictures they are having different colors. These balls shows that they are showing different energy. The first shell can house 2 electrons and it must be full before any electrons can move to the next shells, which can house 8 electron cells. Means the first shell has the capacity of 2 electrons and the next one is having the capacity of 8 electrons. Now for your understanding, which element is depicted in the diagram to the right? Okay, you can comment this answer. How many electron shells are pictured in the diagram? And how many electrons are in the outermost energy shell? Now Lewis dot diagrams. In chemical reactions, the electrons in the outermost shell are the most important. We can represent elements using Lewis dot diagrams, which visually emphasize those electrons over the others. Now here you can see how many dots? 2 dots. And this is about beryllium. Now, valence electrons. The electrons in the outermost shell of an atom are known as valence electrons. In the Lewis dot diagram to the left you can see that beryllium has 2 valence electrons. How many valence electrons do you think hydrogen has? And how many does oxygen have? You can comment this answer. The octet rule. Partially filled electron shells are unstable. Okay, so all atoms want to fill their electron shells completely, like how we want our desire to complete, like that only every atom has its desire to be complete. Since most shells have hold 8 electrons, as I told you that it has the capacity of electrons, so that is one the outermost shell. This phenomena is known as, or you can say it is called as octet rule. Octet, you know, octa means 8. So it wants 8 electrons to complete. Atoms fulfill the octet rule by forming bonds with other atoms. For your understanding again, as an example, fluorine has 9 electrons and 7 in its outermost shell. It will need one more electron to fill its octet. Fluorine has 9 electrons and 7 in its outermost. Okay. Then how many electron would carbon need to be fill its octet? How many would sulfur need and xenon? Okay. So for this purpose you have to check out the periodic table. Now chemical bonding. When atoms form bonds with other atoms, it is known as chemical bonding. Just I told that they want to complete their octet shell to become means complete, not unstable. They want to create a bonds with other atoms, and this when they forms the bonds, it is known as chemical bond. Okay, chemical bonding. Atoms will form chemical bonds with each other in order to fill their electron shells and gain stability. Some elements have atoms with the ideal number of electrons needed by others. This makes certain pairs of elements more compatible for bonding. There are two main types of chemical bonds, that is ionic and covalent. Let's see first ionic bond. Some atoms need to lose electrons whereas some others need to gain electrons in order to be stable. Okay, if the atoms are compatible, they will engage in an ionic bond, and to accomplish these goals, ionic bonds takes place when one atom steals the electrons from another atom, resulting in stability for both atoms. Now example is there, sodium. Sodium has 1 electron valence and chlorine has 7. Okay, you can see here in this picture. Sodium can become stable by losing its single valence electron. Yes, because it has the electronic configuration 281. So it is easy to lose 1 electron to by to steal more 8 electrons from another atom. है ना? So single valence electron and dropping down to the previous and complete energy cell. Whereas chlorine can become stable by gaining one more electron and filling its outermost shell. These atoms can form an ionic bond in which chlorine steals sodium single valence electron, creating stability for both the atoms. Covalent bonds. Some atoms may have a number of electrons such that gaining or losing enough to fulfill their octets is challenging. Okay, this is not the only one way to become octet. Then these atoms may engage in covalent bonds instead of ionic bonds. Covalent means they have to share. Co means they have to share the electrons. Takes place when rather than taking or giving electrons, atoms share their electron in order to fulfill their energy shells. Let's see the example. Chlorine. Chlorine has 7 electrons, just we know that, valence electrons, and therefore it needs how many? 1. Okay, needs only one more in order to fill its octet. In the absence of any other element, chlorine atoms um, can bond with other chlorine atom only. Okay, so for both the atoms will share one electron, thereby completing their electron shells. I hope you understood about the chemical bonding. If you have any questions, you can comment there. And for uh, to more learn, you will have to practice this lesson again. Thanks for watching.